Video. I'm getting a counter, so.
What's that?
I said I'm getting a counter, so I think I'm recording you. This is the first video I've probably ever done with this phone.
Okay, so you good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, so we just played the unnamed space game with Ryan here, and it was super fun. There's some things I really liked about it, some things to maybe think about, but I think my favorite part was the battle, and doing a battle with, coming up with new ways to do battles is really hard, because especially you got a six-sided dice, what's going to be new and unique about it. But what I liked was, look at that pile of cards he's got over there. So he's got like all these cards here. So you've got these, you can just stockpile lots of fighters and destroyers, dreadnoughts. You got these carriers, so you got these. We just had an epic battle, and that's fun. It was a 13-minute battle, but it didn't feel that long. It felt like much quicker. It's really quick doing the battle with the dice to see, okay, these are hits, these are not, these are defense, these are not. It seems like it is not something that's necessarily that unique, but it plays out more unique than you really think it does. So it's like simple and feels kind of clever at the same time. So anytime you've got something that is simple and clever and works out quick is good. Some games have really complex ways to do battle. The way you've got battle in this game works really well for the amount of units or spaceships that you have in a battle. So that's awesome. I think that's my favorite part right there. We've got some really cool stuff going on with this game. This influence here in the bidding, really great dynamic. I need to play it a lot more to see how the balance is. Obviously you've played it, so you probably have more insight to how the balance is on that, because I felt like I got to a point where I kind of felt pinned in and wasn't really sure how to build up my influence, but that may just come with playing a bit better, playing it again and then playing better at the beginning to be able to put myself in position to do that. So to make a fair comment on that, I love the different things you have going on with the different factions. Again, would have to play it more to see how they balanced out. I felt like was that
Trident?
Yeah, the diplomatic or abilities of the Trident was, and of course my phone's ringing. Just turn that off. I felt like that was like, I didn't really know how to compete with that. Like, even though I had defensive abilities, your ability to gain alliance is really easy, and then your ability for espionage made me not want to advance my really good technology, because what's the point of me advancing technology when you can basically just steal it from me? So as soon as I knew you could do that, there was no way I was going to even bother. I would, rather than focus my efforts on trying to develop other things that you can't just steal from me, kind of thing. So there may be, again, more playing it and then seeing what strategies I can do to counteract that. Or like, I don't know if it's an imbalance thing or not, and that's something that you'll find out with as you play test it more. You'll be able to do that. The one thing that you may have to compete with, you definitely will have to compete with, is there's a lot of space games out there. So visually, like, it's got the same hex things that you see going on with some of the other space games out there. So do you have enough things to make it stand apart from those games? So I don't know. That's I haven't played enough of I haven't played Twilight Imperium yet, so I'd actually need to play that to sort of compare that to this and maybe some of the other games. But super fun game. I had a fun time playing it. I definitely would want to play it again. I'd like to see how you kind of develop some of the things as you play test it more and tweak things. But right away, I love the battles. I think the way you do battle is great, and I don't know if there's any little things you might tweak with that, but I think the battles are near perfect.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
But what else? Yeah. Yeah, your economic system, I like how that worked. I had to really kind of think about what I needed to try and do to you know, build certain things and develop other things. So there's lots of thinking going on. We played for a while, like a few hours.
Mm-hmm. I think so. I think we started around probably, I think it was right before 9 o'clock.
Yeah, so it's one of those games that, you know, it's definitely one of the games that, you know, you need some time to play, and they for sure, they have their place, because, you know, it's one of those games that you're going to set aside an evening to play this particular game. But it didn't feel like we played that long, because your mind is, you're not like just waiting, oh, when is it going to be my turn? I'm constantly having to watch what you're doing and how does that affect what I'm going to want to do, and then it changes your plan, what you do completely. Like, I was going to try and go for over here, right, but then you came over here. It's like, well, that's useless. I can't do that. I'm going to have to switch to defense. So your mind is constantly engaged.
It's funny that you said that, because I kind of thought you were going to do the same thing. And the whole time I was thinking, if you did that, all of my ships are over there, and I'm screwed, because I had nothing back here.
Yeah, but I didn't. Yeah, you went there. If I had if this guy hadn't been, I had to bring him back to base, and that was probably a mistake earlier on. I should have repaired him sooner, because I didn't want to go over there with all my destroyers. They had all taken a hit, so I didn't know what was over there. So I didn't want to go in there weak to do it. So that is one thing that's great about your game. I mean, you have a few things that are great, but what I really like about it is you have to think. And anytime that you have a game that takes a while to play, if you have downtime and you don't have a lot to think about, then the downtime is a killer. It kills the game, because you're just waiting for your turn. And some games are like that. But this game, when it's not my turn, and it gets to my turn, and I'm still not even sure what I'm going to do, because, you know, sometimes what you've done completely changes my plan. So that's good. For if you have a long game, you have to have a game that makes you think.
Right. So
that's awesome. Battles are awesome. So I'm really excited to see where you go with this game.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it, man.
You bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.